I am back. I'm back with another episode. Again, we're doing another Let Me Chat episode purely based off the difficulty of them. It's pretty fucking easy to make these episodes where I'm just yapping for a little bit and just giving you guys updates to my life. But I've just been away purely because of the change in my schedule. I'm still just getting used to uni, work, coaching, footy, planning for traveling, and just a lot of stuff in the future of really what I want to do. Honestly, I've just been at peace. I've been so comfortable and very happy with the way I'm living. And I guess I'm just living life the way I want to at the moment, at this age. And who knows later in the future if I want to, do different stuff. But at this point in time, I'm very happy with the point that I'm at. Believe it or not, I've actually been trying in uni. I've been trying to set myself up for exchange next year. Hopefully being able to go to Stockholm, Sweden. There's a lot of things and little pieces that I need to put together in order to be able to do that, especially financially. Fucking, that's scary. However, I have been trying hard in uni, and hopefully my grades can reflect that because I need a couple HDs to show to the uni that I'm actually doing well and I want to try, and just sending that message to them saying, "This, look, I'm actually just trying. Hear me out. I actually want to do something with it," and stuff like that. There's obviously been a lot more responsibilities on my plate. Coming into this time of year, it's the same thing that happened last year. Again with my episodes, they died down. The amount of input and time and effort that I put into them obviously dropped off compared to what I did during the summer last year. And it's purely because it's a change of schedule and there's so many more things going on that I have to put my mind to and focus on my priorities, because the fact is this is just a hobby for me. And I'm so happy that I get people saying how much they like it, despite how, average I think the video might be or how good it might be. I'm going to get different opinions, and I've been, pleasantly surprised by the amount of good feedback that I've gotten from my videos. And I'm even more happy that my mates have given me proper constructive feedback, like you should probably think about changing this, or do this to your videos, or start doing that, or venture out. And I've been thinking a lot about, venturing out with my content. Obviously, I've talked about that a lot. I talked about that last episode, which was almost a month ago now, which is concerning for the consistency. But then again, I knew this was going to happen. I knew that once this part of the year rolled around, coming into April, it's going to be harder for me to get content out. Especially because I'm putting more things into my schedule. I'm giving myself less time to do stuff. And I'm focusing on stuff that I want to do in the future. I love doing these videos. I love yapping. I love learning new stuff. I'm obsessed with self-development and changing and improving myself. For myself and for other people. And in order to do that, I need to sacrifice. And I chose to sacrifice this because despite me how much I love doing it, I'm obviously not getting paid from it. I'm not getting much traction. It's a fun thing for me to do. I like doing it. I don't really care how much traction I'm getting, and I don't care what people think about it, and I don't care if I make money from it or not. I do understand that it's a hobby, and I have to put my priorities straight. If I want to go on exchange, I can't be skipping uni classes and skipping assignments to make videos, because I'm not getting anything out of it. I have to think of what's going to give me the most output, what's going to give me the biggest benefit later on. And obviously getting good grades and whatnot can get me into exchange. And I also need to save money, so I need to work. There's a lot of different variables that have been changing my schedule. And I've really just started to put things into a tier list. Uni and work and training is probably at the top. This is probably second or third tier, and then everything falls under. It's obvious I've been posting more on Reels than I have on YouTube and Spotify, because that stuff is really easy. Like, I literally just posted a video after I made a recipe video, just a meme of like, you feel so full, yada yada, whatever the fuck. Sounds shit when I fucking say it out loud, but Jesus. But it's what got me the most amount of traction. So clearly, I need to start doing more, piss takey videos related to health or something around that realm. I sound like a broken record, but again, I'm gonna start getting into vlogging. I've talked about it so much and whatnot, but all I've been doing is saving up for this camera and saving up for Thailand so that I can produce some decent content. Because if I was just to vlog my day in the day life, it would just be a boring as fuck vlog. Plus, like, I'm not one of those blokes who just puts on a huge act in front of a camera. Like, all of a sudden, I can't really put on a character. I just have to be myself, and I say some fucking random shit most of the time. But I'm not one of those people who gets all energetic in front of a camera. Like, I can't do that. It's too draining for me. It's a waste of my time and energy. And vlogging's been something I've been contemplating for a bit, because I always think of reasons not to do it for some reason. I saw this video and it said, I'll just like make it brief. Basically saying, if you think of reasons to not do something, you should probably do it. And so that's why I've been saving up for this camera, because I reckon the vlogs that I do in Thailand will be so entertaining, and I can carry that on. And I want to start getting into some videography stuff as well, because my best mate's a DJ, and I thought it'd be sick if I film his day in the lives and make videos out of that. And it helps me improve my editing, and it helps me improve my video skills, and maybe it can go somewhere. And I literally went to the gym today, and the gym receptionist there, Ruby, we were just talking, and I was like, oh, you guys should do like these type of videos for the gym, because it was like a gym meme of when the owner sends a voice message to their social media person, and it says, film this stuff, film this, and they exaggerate it and like take the piss out of it. And funny videos like that. And she just said, oh, you should do our social media stuff. Like, you should talk to Mike. He'd so be down for it. And I kept thinking of, reasons. Oh, like I got a lot of stuff going on, and I don't know if I can do it. I don't have a car. Like, it's going to be hard for me to get there. And she's like, just do it when you're at the gym. Like, you're already there. So you may as well add on time whilst you're here. There's no point of going back and forth. And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And I keep falling into this habit of me thinking of reasons not to do something. And I'm really trying to get out of that habit. Same thing for me, constantly saying and but. All those filler words, I'm trying to cut those out as much as I can. For those of you who are new to these kind of episodes, this type of format, this, I guess, series, the Let Me Chat series, most of the time in these episodes, of probably the past 4 months, I'd say, or 3 months, I keep writing down thoughts, ideas, beliefs, even different ideologies that I think of just on a random day because of a situation that happened to me. And I read those out, and I go into depth about it and share my thoughts and let you guys experience the moment with me. And that's usually what happens. I didn't end up writing anything for this Let Me Chat episode. Not even for this Let Me Chat episode. I just didn't have any canon event that made me think something. Except for 2. These are the only 2 things I had. Usually I have about 5 or 6. Literally 6 or 7. But I didn't have that many. The first one that came to mind, and I didn't write it down because it literally happened last night in the shower. And I was just, thinking, literally just a shower thought. And I was thinking about this episode and what I'm going to talk about and how I've been feeling over the past month. And I just thought, and I stopped, and I remember I was listening to Sick Love by Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I just felt so at peace. Thinking back about the past month, I just felt at ease and at peace, and there was no bother, no stress, no overly happiness, no dopamine, and no anger. I just felt peaceful. I felt like nothing in this moment could bother me, and I couldn't be, my mindset couldn't change on anything at this moment. And it made me realize the feeling of being truly at peace is far greater than the feeling of dopamine, happiness, anger, or even overcoming a situation. Being at peace, it's hard to even describe, because even in that moment, I just felt calm. Like everything was just relaxed. There was nothing bad going on. It's actually hard. Like, I'm trying to describe it, but I can't. It's just a thing that you just have to kind of experience. Just the feeling of truly just being at peace, where there's nothing bad going on, is one of the best feelings ever. Like last night when I was just in the shower, I was just like so calm and laxed. There's a word from Riley Myers, if you remember that OG episode. Feeling laxed. It's just the greatest feeling ever. I think that outweighs having the highest dopamine, because when you have such a high dopamine, when you get that big hit, it has to come down. Whereas your peace can be a constant level for such a longer period of time. And the feeling of happiness can go away pretty quick. So can sadness, so can anger, and so can your stress. The last one, or the second one, really, but it was this video on Charlie Sloth. And this video brought up the idea that I created called the perception of success. In this episode, Charlie Sloth's dad says to him at a very young age, 12 or 13 years old, and he said, "You will never be as successful as me." I'll make it brief, but fast forward 2 decades, Charlie Sloth is now one of the most successful radio hosts, producers, and brand owners, with AU Vodka and his radio or DJ, I guess, show called Fire in the Booth, which has produced so many amazing artists and also some of the funniest freestyles you'll ever see. And he's worth millions now, probably tens of millions. And he takes his family on a holiday, his entire family, so himself, his 2 sisters, and his mum and dad. And him and his dad go for a drink together, just them 2. And Charlie says to his dad, "Look at everything around us. Look at everything I've accomplished, achieved, accumulated. And you said I would never be as successful as you." And Charlie's dad looks at him and says, "I was never talking about money." He said, "I was talking about you, your 2 sisters, and your mother. I am successful as a father." And this perception of success more so relates to the self-determination theory, which claims that people have 3 main drives in life, or 3 core needs: competence, autonomy, and relatedness. Competence being what you're able to achieve and succeeding in life. Autonomy being having control in the things around your life. And relatedness being connection and relationships. Charlie's driven by his monetary value, his money, his brands, things succeeding, and accumulating wealth, whereas his dad is driven by relatedness, his family. Both are completely valid points of success, but different in how each person perceives it. And that, for me, it keeps my mindset of what do I want in life pretty grounded, because I personally find it so easy to get caught up in what other people are doing through social media, obviously. And wealth has always been, I guess, the highest honor or the highest measurement of success, the most common measurement of success. How much money do you have? Whereas most of billionaires are depressed and lonely, and a lot of them are divorced as well. They can't find any relatedness with their friendships, their relationships, and their family. So it keeps me grounded and keeps me, I guess, wary of what do I want out of my life. And I think about it to myself, and I don't put money and wealth at such a high tier as a lot of other people do. Obviously, having $1 million would be better than having no money. That's a bit of a no shit. But if I have a family, a loving partner, a great group of friends, a good social circle, and I'm happy with what I'm doing with my life, and I'm making a good amount of money, I live in a nice area, and I'm healthy, and I'm able to move, it can't really, affect me too much because I'm where I want to be. I don't know what I want to do in the future. I don't know who my partner's going to be. I don't know how many kids I'm going to have. I don't know if they're going to be boys or girls, or if I'm going to have a boy and a girl. I don't know who my mates will be 50 years on. There's a lot of variables and a lot of things that might change, and it's just so unknown, and it's such a void of thinking, and you don't know what's going to happen. But you can have a vague and brief idea of what you want. And that what you value and what you need in life later on is obviously going to change. Because, for example, I remember writing on my year 4 career card. So we'd hold up a card of what we wanted to be when we're older. I said I wanted to be an inventor. And then later on, I wanted to be an AFL footy player. Then later on, I wanted to be a social media influencer when I started this shit. Yes, I wanted to be an influencer. And now I find it a hobby. This is a hobby for me. And now I don't know what to do. I thought about being a PT. Didn't have the money to get my certificate, so I didn't do that. And now it's out in the open. Maybe I want to travel for the rest of my life. Maybe I want to fucking knit clothes. Maybe I want to be a clothing brand owner. Maybe I want to own a sweatshop. Who knows? Who fucking knows what you want to do when you're older? You just gotta fucking try shit and see what you want to do. I've got no fucking idea, but I'm gonna try and figure it out. Whew, that was a bit of a rant. Jeez, I didn't take a fucking breath. But that brings us to the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll try to get something out. Honestly, I think the perception of success is probably a good idea for me to do for a full episode, because it's a pretty cool concept, and I'm pretty into the whole psychological terms and theories and stuff like that. So I think it'll be good for me to do. But honestly, I think the next post you'll probably see from me will probably either on that or post Thailand. That'll probably be my next podcast episode. But again, I hope you guys did enjoy the episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one.